I'm Leathur Rokk. Welcome to my channel. Today, thought I would tell you more about how I lost my phone, because it's a little bit hard to imagine, really. I had just buried my cat, and I'm sorry that you didn't get to actually see the video, the 14-minute video that I filmed. I had a friend who had scheduled to help me to bury Garfield, but about the time that he showed up, another friend showed up who offered also help to bury him, and that was the man in the van, who hopefully in the next couple of days you're going to get to meet, because he comes by most days. I've actually been letting that guy stay over because it's not a good climate for homeless people to be caught out with the cops giving $300 tickets, and plus it's raining now, and I don't think you'd want to be sleeping in the rain, would you? So what happened was my two friends who helped me bury the cat were here, and then the doorbell rang, and I had my phone in my hand, and I went downstairs to answer the phone, and it was two other friends, and of course I had to go into the kitchen where I had two chairs stacked up that I needed to bring into my room, because obviously people are going to be here, they need to sit, right? And the chairs were stacked in the kitchen because when we had the roof cave in, those chairs had been in the front room that was also originally called my grow room. So I had to move everything out of that room that was where the roof cave in was, so that if it continued to rain, we wouldn't have more chunks of ceiling falling down, and we wouldn't get more things damaged. Obviously, you don't want your stuff damaged. So all I know is I had a house full of people, and they were drinking, doing whatever, and I don't care about that because it has nothing to do with me, because just because they're drinking doesn't mean that it's going to throw me off my sobriety. It had nothing to do with anything. But I could not find that phone, and I never took it outside aside from when I buried him. I was not out again. I cannot find that phone anywhere. And I had so much footage of Garfield, so many, the pictures for the most part I did post at least to Facebook and to Instagram, but I shot many videos of him that I never posted to YouTube, and now I'm really mad at myself. And the only reason why I didn't post all that footage is because there were some bullies that would get me in the comments on YouTube and would say the most horrible things, accusing me of neglecting my cat and saying, why didn't I take him to the vet a month ago, and saying I should have done this and I shouldn't have done that, and I should have spent this kind of money and I should have done this. All these shoulda, assuming that I had money, which I didn't have. And so anything that I didn't post, assuming that phone is gone, assuming somebody stole it, or what if it was knocked into a trash can and then thrown out or something, which could, in theory, have happened. I mean, I'd like to know how a phone just disappears, even though, okay, I don't live in House Beautiful. We know that. And phones, by their very nature, are very easy to lose because they're small. They don't make them with giant loops that you can hang them around your wrist or hang them on the wall so that you don't lose them. The one great thing about laptop computers is if you have them open, like the way they are for me to film, it's kind of hard to lose them. And I know the sound might not be as good, and the camera might not be as good, and it might not have certain bells and whistles, even though, for all I know, this laptop should be pretty good. I'm hoping. This is my first full day using it, so we're going to have to find out together. But all I know is that I allowed myself to be intimidated by the people that were bullying me on YouTube comments, accusing me of neglecting my cat, and because of that, I failed to post all the footage I had of him. And now that that phone seems to be gone, the footage is gone. And I deeply regret this, because it's bad enough that my cat, Garfield, has passed away. Now, there's footage that I will never be able to see again because it was stuck in a machine that I don't seem to have access to. I'm mad at myself that I did something similar with my dear cat, Cassie, that there were some pictures that I failed to post, and I should have just put them like as a photo dump for Facebook, for instance, or other social media. And because I failed to do so, when that tablet got lost. Anything that I hadn't posted is lost also. And, there's nothing quite like the love of a cat. Maybe if you have other love with humans, maybe you disagree with me, but all I know is cats can't break your heart. The worst thing they can do is die. And unfortunately, because they have such short lifespans, they are going to break our hearts. That's the price you pay for loving somebody. So, the phone seems to be gone. I don't know. I've torn this place apart, and I don't want to make it any messier than it is. Between trying to pack for a move, and I kind of don't, I'm not looking anymore, but I still kind of am, and I would like to say that I haven't given up hope. But come on. That phone has been missing since the day I buried Garfield. And of course that's why I haven't been able to create content here. And now that this has happened, and now that I have to think twice about what I say, because you never know who you're going to offend, and people seem to have no problem with going and hunting you down, finding out where the nursing home is, where your mom is, and then dropping dimes, which we will talk about in a future video. So now I don't know how freely I can speak, and I have wrestled with how to approach these subjects so much before actually finally going to film, because I don't want to automatically start with a bad attitude, and I don't want to automatically start accusatory, but I can't pretend that I'm okay. I can't pretend that I'm not angry by the events that happened. I can't pretend that I don't feel betrayed, that some people who I may have trusted may have really let me down, whether somebody stole that phone or whether in fact somebody snitched me off at the nursing home or what. But all I know is I don't want to lie to you and say that everything's okay. And I'm very, very sad over my dead cat, and things are just very unstable here, and I'm just thoroughly disgusted with things at this point. But that is how, as far as I know, the phone got lost. All I know is the last thing I did with that phone was review the footage I shot of the filming. And now, unfortunately, I cannot produce for you the video, which was the burial and funeral service for my Garfield. It's not like you can recreate something like that. If any of you are also mourning the loss of your cats, know that I feel you. And I'm not going to say it gets better, but hopefully with each passing week, we'll get through this. But I do miss my dear Garfield. He was such a good cat. And I know, despite whatever the rude people who really don't know me and are so quick to pass judgment, despite what they may say, I know that cat had a better life with me than he had staying on the street. He knew love. He knew being spoiled rotten with any food or treats he wanted, with the love of me and my mother, and even sometimes the other person that is sometimes here. And I miss him dearly. Okay, that's all I have to say. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.